Hello, I am Swift Shadow, and this is a Zenless Zone 0 rerolling guide. This is a method that I've been using while trying to reroll accounts in order to get Ellen, and hopefully it will be helpful to some of you as well. If you want a text guide of this, there is a text guide linked in the description. I will also link all of the redemption codes in the description so you can copy and paste those more easily. This method will consistently get you 11 or 12 encrypted master tapes. This number varies depending on how many A-rank dupes that you get, and you will also get 24 master tapes, which are the standard summons. So in total, you can do 11 to 12 limited summons and 30 standard summons because of that discounted pull rate for the first 50. And this method takes just around 20 minutes to complete fully. Before we get into how to reroll, let's just briefly cover what rerolling is. The process of rerolling is to create multiple accounts in order to guarantee a lucky result early on. This guide isn't going to cover who you should reroll for. There's plenty of content about that on YouTube already, but I do have some of my own opinions on that and some more information about rerolling in general in the text document that's pinned in the description below. So if that interests you at all, feel free to check that out. Now let's actually get into the method of rerolling. Before you actually can start playing the game, you need to make a HoYoverse account, and you can do this on the title screen of the game or on the HoYoverse account's website. I'll have that linked in the description, and it's in the text guide as well. A single email address can only be linked to one HoYoverse account, so when you are creating additional accounts, the best way of doing this is to use a salted email. This method allows you to make multiple HoYoverse accounts, which will all have the email verification codes that are sent out forwarded to one email. You can salt your email by putting periods in your email name somewhere before the @ symbol. You can do this anywhere that is after the first character, that is not directly in front of the @ symbol, and that does not follow another period. If you want more information and some more examples on this, check the text guide that's in the description below. And now we can get into the actual gameplay. I'm going to fast forward through all of the cutscenes and dialogue sections, and I'll also probably speed up some of the more straightforward movement, but the combat and the more in-depth sections are going to be kept just as is so you can follow along. Everything will also be time-stamped in the description below, so if you want to skip to certain sections, feel free to do that. Combat, at least in the early game, is extremely straightforward and not very difficult, but one thing to keep in mind is that if you can keep enemies grouped up together, it's going to speed up your fight times by quite a bit. With Anby, you can normally go to the side of enemies and hit them into each other, and that will line them up so that you're able to hit multiple of them with your skill.
Tracks.
Here, going into this fight, the game is going to want you to switch into Billy. I immediately switch back into Anby, again to get these enemies grouped up, and then Billy's chain attack is able to take everything out. Billy's chain attack has a surprising amount of AoE, as well as his ultimate. For this fight, you want to shoot an enemy, then use Billy's skill in order to trigger a chain attack. You need to do 3 chain attacks here in order to progress the fight, and I find that getting 1 chain attack triggered with Billy and then triggering the other 2 with Anby's skill makes that more consistent. Ending that wave on Billy lets you ult with him immediately, which consistently will kill this wave. You want to make sure that you're on Billy here. Anby's ult doesn't consistently hit everything. For this fight, where it teaches you how to do assists, my main goal is to stun the enemy with Anby and then just hit them a bunch with Billy and let Billy do most of the damage. And anytime that you're able to perfect assist into Billy so that he's able to build up his physical anomaly and do damage, or anytime that you're on Billy and you're able to perfect dodge an attack in order for him to do his dodge counter, it's a good idea.
Not good.
After you get out of this combat section, you'll have a short movement section where you need to talk to Nicole. You can skip this scene, and then you need to interact with the HDD. From here, you're going to enter your story commission section, and you're going to want to pick the casual mode. There are 2 difficulty options, casual and challenge. There's no reward difference between them. Casual mode makes it quicker to get through the reroll, and you can change this in the general settings later on if you want to switch to challenge once you do have an account you like. In the TV section, there is a fast forward option, which you can click on the top left. It's that fast forward button that turns yellow when it's on, or you can click the T key, which will turn it on for you. This option ends up getting turned off every time that you come out of combat, so you need to manually do it every time. I take this path up to the top to grab these small rewards. They're optional, they're not necessary, but they don't take too much time to grab. It's mostly just Denny's. You can do it if you want. If you don't, it's fine. Again, for this fight, you want to keep enemies grouped up with Ambi in order to kill them, and also make use of Billy's large AoE to kill things quickly.
New enemies incoming. Don't let your guard down.
It's extremely important in these TV sections that you pick up all 3 of the holo observation data. This is the only one that you can miss in this TV section. After fighting this enemy, you need to make sure that you go and pick up the one on the left. These do give you extra polychromes, so you need to make sure that you grab them all. For this fight, again, you're going to want to perfect assist into Billy whenever possible and have him shoot, and you're going to want to build up the daze gauge with Anby here.
Just focus on the enemy.
The key here is to have Anby stun the enemy so that Billy's able to do his chain assist attack coming in, which is going to do a lot of damage. And then his ultimate here will kill the enemies that spawn around him and do good damage to the boss. And once you complete the combat and you claim your rewards, you have a dialogue section with Nicole that you can get through pretty quickly. Then you need to go back inside random play and talk to Wise. This is going to unlock your Internaut levels. In this Internaut menu, all that you need to do is enter your name and take the commission. You don't actually need to claim your Internaut rewards right now. Then, once you finish talking to Wise, you're going to leave random play and enter back out into the city. I'm going to fast forward through all of the city movement here up until the menuing section just because it does take a while, but the gist of it is that you need to talk to the dog and do the scratch-off ticket, then talk to General Chop to start his commission, and then talk to Susie to start her commission. All of this has an objective above it, so just follow the objectives.
Val, you're here.
Then once you talk to Susie, it's going to prompt you to open your menu and upgrade Anby's W engine. So here you can equip the W engine and enhance it. It's going to make you take it up 1 level. I end up taking this up to level 10 just to speed up combat later on. Then when you back out in this menu, you're going to want to go to the More section, click on your mail, and claim the pre-registration rewards. This is going to give you a Koran and 20 master tapes that we're going to make use of. After this, you can mash through Susie's dialogue and then just run back to random play. I'm going to fast forward this again. Once you get back inside random play, you can talk to your sibling again, and this will unlock the signal search system. This is where you finally get access to the Gacha system, and because we just claimed those pre-registration rewards, we have 20 master tapes, so we can do 20 standard pulls right now. I like to do these here just in case I get a character that I like, or a W engine for a certain character to speed up the next combat section that's coming up. If you want to do any more pulls here as well, you can feel free to do that, but I just like doing these 20 and then saving the rest for later. After you finish doing your pulls, you want to go back to the HDD and take the Exploration Commission. This is in order to get to Internaut level 5, which is necessary to redeem 3 out of the 4 codes that are available. This is also going to net you some more polychromes, and it ends up being a pretty nice number in the end. For this commission, you can take any team of 3 characters. I end up using Corin, Anby, and Nicole just because they're all free, and I know that I'm going to have them all. I like to take at least Anby up to level 10 because normally you'll get a tutorial about it anyways, and I also like to take Corin up to level 10 and at least slap a W engine on her, assuming that I got one in those 20 standard pulls, just to make her hit a little harder.
A new route has been marked.
In this TV section, you can skip this first enemy. I like to grab the thing next to him just because, again, it's more resources and it only takes a second to pick up. This second fight is mandatory. One of the things that I like about having Corin here is she actually has a surprisingly high amount of damage, and as long as enemies are in front of her, she does a good job of hitting them together. Most of the time in these combats, I'll end up using Corin as my main on-field damage dealer, and then swap into Anby at times to use her skill in order to daze enemies so that Corin can follow up with her chain attack. I did have some trouble grouping up these last 2 enemies just because I couldn't get them to line up properly and had trouble trying to get around the side of them.
Roger.
Again, in this TV section, you're going to want to make sure that you pick up all 3 of the hollow observation data. These will give you extra polychromes. They are these orange things. They're pretty hard to miss. There is a puzzle here where you need to push a block on top of this blue button. If you end up pushing it too far into a place where you can't push it anymore, you can use the green button on the right side in order to reset it. I did this on purpose. This isn't me playing bad. Don't make fun of me, please. In order to open up the path to leave, you want to press this red button and pick up the W engine. You're also going to want to make sure you pick up these hollow observation datasets as well. Again, you need to make sure you have all 3 of them.
Great. We can head back now. A new route has been marked.
This last fight has 1 enemy to start off, and then another 2 enemies that spawn in. I like to stun this enemy with Anby and push it towards the wall, and then Corin can come in and do the rest of the fight basically on her own. Her EX skill is incredibly good at killing enemies if you're able to get them grouped up together. Now that you've completed this commission, you are at Internaut level 5, which is going to let us do a few things. First off, you're going to want to claim your Internaut level rewards. This is going to give you some polychromes and some additional master tapes. Then after that, we're able to go back into the More section of the menu and enter 4 redemption codes. These codes are ZZZ Free 100, ZZZ 2024, Zenless Gift, and Zenless Launch. Again, they will all be in the description so you can easily copy and paste them. They are not case sensitive. Then after you redeem the codes, you're going to want to claim them from the mail. We can go back into the signal search section here, and we're going to go into the signal shop. Here you're going to want to buy 1 master tape from the Fading Signal tab. This is going to let you hit 8 master tapes, which will let you do a 10 pull on the standard banner. And then you can also buy as many encrypted master tapes as you can afford from this section. Then you can perform your standard banner 10 pull using those 8 master tapes that you have, and then do single pulls on the limited banner until you run all of your polychromes out and use all of your encrypted master tapes. Then, once you've finished doing all of the pulls that you have available to you, you can go back into the signal shop, go back to that Fading Signal tab, and buy the rest of the encrypted master tapes out. You can also buy as many encrypted master tapes as you can afford from the Residual Signal tab. You should be able to get at least 1 of these, and potentially 2 of them, depending on how many A-rank duplicates that you received. And after that, you can spend these encrypted master tapes back on the limited banner. And that's the entirety of the reroll process. That's a total of 12 limited pulls because I did get a little lucky on the residual signals, and also 30 standard pulls from those 24 master tapes that we were able to do, all done in about the course of 20 minutes. If you ended up getting the agent that you wanted, then you're done rerolling. Congratulations, you can continue playing the game just as normal now. And now that you have an account that you know you want to play on, you can also change the email that is linked to that account by going to the Hoyoverse account's website. Again, it's linked in the description, and you can go to the account security settings section of the website and unlink your salted email, and then link an email that you know you're going to keep better track of and not forget. If you didn't get what you wanted, then you can quit back to the title screen using the logout option in the More section of the menu, and then click on the refresh icon on the bottom right of the title screen in order to switch your accounts. Then you can create another Hoyoverse account, again using a salted email, and then repeat this process as many times as you want in order to keep trying to get accounts to get what you want. Depending on what exactly you're targeting, this can be a bit of a lengthy process. I've done about 30 accounts now trying to get Ellen and have not hit a single S-rank character on the limited banner, not even a lost 50-50. However, I do wish you the best of luck, and hopefully this method will help you achieve the results that you want to see. If you want to brag about any of the pulls that you've gotten, feel free to leave a comment down below, and if you want any background noise while you're rerolling, and I happen to be live on this YouTube channel or on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/SwiftShadow, feel free to come by, hang out, and watch me mauled to not getting Ellen. Thanks for watching, and best of luck with all of your Zenless Zone Zero pulls.